Hello, everyone. Hey, everyone. How are you? Good morning, Aisha. I can see nine attendees: Andre, Aisha, Divya, Matthew, Mukesh, Nikita, Pooja, and Tilson. How are you all? Morning, everyone. Great. Thank you, Mukesh. Thank you, Nikita, for acknowledgement. Thank you, Aisha. Great. I'm doing great. Thank you, Nikita. Hey, Pooja. I'm doing great. Thank you. Okay, then we can get started. Yep, we can get started. Think that's the maximum number of people will attend today. 11. Sunday being the class. As always, there is a less attendance. Okay, before we start, please do let me know how many of you understand group by in data, or if you were attending my classes of Python, then you must have seen that I have ran some pandas queries to create a group by. Okay, group by is a command. Okay, is a data aggregation technique. Can we have acknowledgement so that we can start? This is really to filter the data, not to filter the data, to create groups of data. Okay, I will explain in case you know, but I wanted to know from everyone how many of you understand group by. Thanks Pooja for acknowledgement. What about others? Only in general. That's great. Okay, okay, that's fine. Okay, so let me just share my screen. Let's understand from this example that we shown earlier. Okay, so guard one is taking the entries of students and especially their IDs. So Pooja has the ID of 015, Ayush having the ID 018, and Raju is having the ID of 011. Okay, so let's try to make a data in Excel. Okay, what his register look like. Okay, gate one, guard one. Okay, what he is actually noting down. Okay, he is noting down time in and time out. Okay, for each student. So this could be the serial number, and this could be the ID. Okay, name, ID, time in, time out. Okay, so these are the fields. Okay, let's make some entries. So let's say so it is just going in the Let's say in going in the uh, let me just in the chronological order. So time in, time out. Okay, something like that. So first entry of Mukesh. Let's say he entered. Okay, something like this. Okay, so assume that there are some times students. Okay, and we have again Puja. Simply assume this one. Okay, 018, 011, 18, 014. Yeah, just make it random. These are the ID. Okay, and you can assume some time, some random time. Okay, but with the help of time in and time out, can we make a difference of them, or and we can calculate a new field which can be said as a which can be said as uh, the duration out. Okay, or the duration in which this particular student was out. Okay, so we can say that delay, not delay, but I would say that total out hours. Okay, I can calculate. So let's say this is also some random number. Let's say at this first entry Mukesh was, let's say, some random number, random between from 1 to 5. Okay, everybody is out for these is hours. Okay, okay, you can think of time in and time out accordingly, but the point is that you are able to understand the crux. Okay, if you're able to understand the crux, can we do acknowledgement? Okay, so this is the table that this particular guard is maintaining. Okay, are you able to understand this? Yeah, so when I say group by, okay, when I say group by, then I'm saying that group by on a particular variable. Okay, so when I say that I wanted to know as a owner, okay, my business owner or hostel owner, I am saying to guard one that please give me the total student wise timeout. Okay, so you can see that Mukesh has been out in the first entry 3 hours, and then he was out for 2 hours. So what is, and also the last one, third entry. Okay, so how many times Mukesh is out? This one, this one, and this one. Pooja is out for this entry, this entry, and this entry. What about Raju? So Raju being this color, let's say, what happened? It's frozen. Guys, give me a second. I think my system is frozen. No, how it can happen? Give me a second. I'm stopping my share. Yep, fine. I have to create the new one. I just lost that. So I will share my screen again. Okay. Okay. Just doing it fast. Let's just do it. Okay. Let's just do for Mukesh, Ayush. Yeah, fine. Now we have the timeout for everyone. Okay. Now, if I say that, tell me each student's total timeout. So we already see that we can highlight and see manually. Okay. And this is the total. So we can do a total simple 5 plus 5 plus 2. So 12 hours Pooja is out. Okay. Similarly for Mukesh also, we can highlight them. Just see the manual way. Okay. And for Ayush also, let's make it. Yeah. So everybody is time out. We can highlight it. Okay. But can I just make it together? Like all these rows that I have filtered out. Okay. Can I just make one group according to the rows? Okay. So that's where the foundation of group by is there. You can see that I have just made a group, and in this group you can see that I have only Pooja. But why the point of repeating those things if we are interested in knowing the total number of hours she is out or the average number of she is out? Okay, we can make this also, like the sum is 12 and the average is 4. Okay, so we can make one entry for Pooja where she is 12 hours of out. Okay, she's 12 hours out. Similarly, we can do this for Mukesh also. Okay, we have just put this here, and we can make a second entry for Mukesh, and we know we can simply do the total. So 9 hours he is out. Okay, and we can simply make a third entry for Ayush. Okay, we will just put all these records. Okay, and we can say that it's 11. So total 11 hours Ayush is out, and we can call this, like, we can have this as a different number. Okay, so this is, you can see that we have first grouped them, and then we have added together on the basis of what we want. Let's say in case I didn't wanted the total hours, I wanted the average hours, so I would have seen that the average is 4 for Pooja, so I will replace this one. Average for Mukesh is 3. Oh, sorry, that's 3. And for Ayush, the average is 3.66. 3.66. Okay. So in case what we want, depending upon that. But how this purple table is possible? By grouping them together. Okay. We can simply do a group by in the pivot table also, for those people who know how to make a pivot table. Okay. So we can have name, duration out. Okay, and we can do the simple average also, and you can see the same thing. Uh, so this is the same thing, even pivot table is doing the same group by, but how it is doing it? First of all, internally it is doing the same calculation that I am doing. Okay, it is simply creating groups and doing the calculation on that basis. Okay, so in fact we can change this also to sum for actually getting the total hours. So it's 7, 12, 12. Ayush 7, it's 12, and it's 12. Okay, so it is the table. But how it is possible? By grouping them. Now first of all, do you all understand what is group by internal, or in very basic form? Can we have acknowledgement? Yes. Not like, yes, identical, but here what is the identical thing, Mukesh? Name. Okay, so obviously the one thing that you have highlighted really good is identical. Okay, with the help of some function. So group by is a command which does the same thing. It makes groups. On what basis? On the basis that you desire. Okay, so right now we made the groups on the basis of name. We can make the groups on the basis of ID also. So 018. So 018 is the ID for Puja. For, okay, and for Ayush also it is, let's say, 015. Okay, so ID and name are exactly representing the same thing. So when two things are representing the same thing, like, there is no change. Okay, so if you do a group by on ID also, you will get the same results. Okay, and if you do the group by on name, you will get the same results. And in this case, it's also, it is also, no, right now I haven't decided any chronological order for the final table. Okay, you can do a alphabetical order, as well as you can do a uh, order by on the basis of durations. Okay, so that is up to you. Thank you, Nagita, for acknowledgement. Yeah, now here in this case you can see that uh, my total is, okay, something is missing in this table. Give me a second. Yeah, fine. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah. So finally, we can see that we can achieve any aggregation. So can I say that the purple table is an aggregated form? What is the meaning of aggregation? Do you all understand? Okay, let me just show you that. Okay, now you can see that the simple definition is formation of number of things into cluster. Okay, a cluster of things that have been come or bought together. Now here also you can fit the same definition. This is the definition. Where is no. So all the pujas in the data sets in this particular data have been brought together in this form. Okay, so here it is. Okay, now I get it. Why it's changing. 3, 6, 1. Okay, it's 10. Okay, and similarly for this one also. Yes, Mukesh, we can group it by. Yeah. So first of all, I wanted to understand in simple way, then I will explain you the complex way. Okay, so you can see that. Yeah, fine. So this is how you group by, and you will be able to see that your query should be able to also group it by. Okay, for example, the pivot table is the method that is capable of doing the same thing in Excel, but how to do in SQL. Okay, but in Pandas also we have done it. Okay, there is a if you remember all my classes, then there was dot group by, there was a command in the Pandas. If you remember, then please hit on the chat, but you can refer back. I also explained you the same way uh, in Pandas. Now we are doing the same thing, but with the help of SQL. Okay, so what we do here is that in order to write this particular thing, so we have to write select name, comma, sum of duration out, which is my variable, from guard one table. Okay, but I need to group by which variable? Name, and that's all. Okay, so this is how it is going to generate the same table in the purple table here. Let me just, yeah. Select name, comma, sum of duration, because what you want in query, sum of duration out from guard one, which is the table, group by name. Okay, so that's how you generate the same result. Please look at the result and understand. Okay, in case I would have wanted the average, then I would simply write AVG. Then it will give me the average number of average hours that each particular student was out. Okay, so let's do some group by query. Okay, and see is there any way we can do it in our question sheets. Let me just open the question sheets, and you can see that there is a question which last name are not repeated. It is exactly coming from our Sakila case study. Okay, now look at this example first of all. Okay, look at this example and let's extend this example forward. Let's have somebody else, Raju. He is okay, and he has been out for 1 hour. And there is another guy. His name is, let's say, Nikhil. He is 020, and he has been also out for 1 hour. Let's say 4 hours. Okay. Okay. So this is the table that guard is maintaining. Okay. Because they are the different students, let's use a different color to highlight them. Okay. Raju and Nikhil. Let's say I want to know that how many students are there who are gone out more than one time. Okay, so we can make a group. Okay, so we already know that Pooja is how many times out? 3 times. How many times Mukesh has been out? 3 times. Ayush, 1 time. Sorry, no, 3 times. Yes. What about Raju? Only 1 time. Nikhil, 1 time. So we know we can simply see it from the results. But how the group by will help you in this one? Okay, so first of all, we need to make groups, that's for sure. On what basis I need to make groups? On the basis of name. But in the calculation, do I need to sum the hours together? Do I need to sum them? What about others? Only Mukesh is answering. Nope. We have to count the occurrences. How we can count the occurrences of Pooja, Mukesh? Okay, we can use the command the same I have written over here. Just put it. But we want count we can count the IDs also, because you can see that, or count the name itself. Okay, if you count the names, okay, so this is 3 times. For Mukesh also it's 3 times. For Ayush also it's 3 times. Okay, so we can count the distinct names, because if we count Mukesh, or like, I think not distinct, but only the name. That's fine. We have to count the names or the occurrences, and we have to group it by the name itself. Okay, and you will be able to see that when I will run this query, I will get this result. So it will tell me that how many times each particular person's entry was repeated. Okay, you can use the ID also. It will also give you the same thing, because ID and name are proxy variable. They are just representing the same thing. Okay, so in this way I can know that. But my question is not clear. I know that how many times each student was appeared. Like, I can see that Pooja has visited 3 times, Mukesh has visited 3 times, but Raju and Nikhil has only visited 1 time. But in order to filter out, do I need to remove all these three? Okay, so can I put a condition or criteria in my query which will remove all these entries from Pooja, Mukesh and Ayush? Can we do this? Do you think anything? Kindly please, students, those who know, please do not, because this will hamper the learning of the other students. Okay, So first of all, how we are going to limit those uh, entries. So you will see that any entry which is greater than 1 should not be there in the results. Can you see this simple simple mathematics? Because you want those results who are only visited one time. Okay, or I can say that you don't want those people who have visited more than one. Okay, so I need to remove these people. So I can write that I can write a where condition. Where condition will say that please provide me the table, the name and the count, and group it by, first of all group it by, and then limit it. Only pick those uh, records uh, which are one only. Okay, or less than two. I can also write this way. Okay, so I have to put a where condition, but where do I write this where condition? Okay, this is the question. Having condition is also fine. Yeah, where condition will also work here, and it will uh, it will work in two ways. Okay, but if you wanted to write in one condition, then you have to write the having condition, but that will complicate things, Mukesh. So that's why I'm going to write with the where condition in two separate queries. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's just try to replicate the same thing in this example. Okay, we are saying that which last names are not repeated. So when things are repeated, they will occur more than one. Okay, but what we want those results which are not repeated. As you can see in our example also, Pooja's entry is repeated, that's why its count is showing 3. Okay, in this table Pooja name is getting repeated, that's why it is there. But what we want those names which are not repeated. And in this table also, which names are not repeated? Raju and Nikhil. So here also we want those entries which are not repeated. Can you all agree on this one? If you are understood, okay. If you're not understood, then ask me. What about Pooja? Ayush. Ayush is not there, I guess. Clear. Thank you. What about Tilson and Neha? Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Tilson. Who is there with a name called drafting? Somebody is joining from another system. I can see a name in the panelist name as drafting. Oh, Vishnu. Vishnu appeared more than 3 names, I guess, as I can see in last few months. Yeah. Vishnu is like the real Vishnu who can appear in many forms. That's joking. Yeah. Okay then. Okay. So when what is the meaning of this query? Let's try to understand. This query means that which last names are not repeated. So I can also write this query here also. If I want Raju and Nikhil, so I will say the same thing. Please tell me those names which are not repeated. Okay, and you can see in this table Raju and Nikhil are not repeated. So how do we find that? With the help of count. Okay, we have to first of all find the count of the occurrences of the name, and we have to restrict those records which are repeating or more than one. Okay, today I will be switching off this camera on and off because I'm having really a bad cold and I don't want to guys listen that irritating sound. Okay, so thanks for patience. Now let's try to run this query. Okay, which last names are not repeated? Okay. So where is last name? Okay, what about the like names have been already in the context of the actor. Okay, so actor table we are going to first of all see that. So select last name from name as count from actor table, group by last name. Okay, let's see first of all that, then we will filter it out. Okay, you can see that all the last name and the counts are there, but we can see that we should order it by. Okay, you can see that in our results we have simply put the highest occurring at the top. Okay, the highest occurring is are actually the three people, Pooja, Mukesh and Ayush, but here we can see that 1 2 3, somewhere I see the five also, some fours also. Okay, right now the answer or the result is ordered into the last names alphabetical order. So you can see that all A's are there. So that's the by default. How we can sort the results in Excel? How you sort the results? By selecting this one. Okay, then you go to your uh, yeah, this is the sort dialog box. Okay, you go to the data and you select that, but in SQL you have order by statement. Okay, which is called order by, and after that you will write the final results need to be order by on the basis of, yeah, on the basis of what variable? The count. But in what variable, but in what order? Let me just come back to the alt ass. That's my variable. Smallest to largest, largest to smallest. Okay, so in Excel there are very things very much easy. So smallest to largest means ascending, largest to smallest mean descending. Okay, so you can simply do the same thing by variable count which you have created. You can see that there is a variable that you have created, count, and descending order, so that you see the highest occurring at the top. So you can see that the name Kilmer is appeared 5 times. Okay, Kilmer has appeared 5 times. And you can see that when you see that particular scroll, when you scroll this particular result, you will see that you will find that the last one is the one. But what you want according to this query, the question of business, which last name are not repeated? Okay, so you want those names which are starting with the one. Okay, so you want all these people to be shown as the result, not these people, because they are repeated. That's why they are shown here. Okay, so there is one way, like you have got this table. Okay, you have got this table. You can further do one method, like you can simply filter out, you can extract the data. Okay, let's say you have actor last name repeat, and you are getting a CSV. Let me just tell you where the CSV will go. Actor last name repeat. So you can see that I have got a CSV which is showing me the last name and the count. Okay, from here you can go to the Excel's filter and simply want the ones. Okay, so these are the last name that you see. That how many people? 66 people are there where the last name is just appeared one time. Okay, so this is one of the method. Okay, where you are doing some manual work. Okay, so did you all understand this manual method? But is this method is optimized? No, it's not optimized. Okay, you are actually not getting the work. If you can get the same results here in itself, then it must have been the fine. But you are using Excel, and that's not fine. So the second method is to make a table of this one. Okay, make a table. So how you create a table, I have already shown you. So there is a particular command, create table. What is the table name? Let's say T1, or let's say table 1 as this particular command. Now, earlier, what you have seen, how we created a table, create table and then create a bracket and then mention the variables, and though that were creating an empty table and you was just inserting the values. But if you have already a table made, you can see that the results that you have got is actually a table with the two variables, last name and count. Why not to use this result to be inserted into another table? Can we do this? Yes, we can do this. So we can use the same command, create table 1 as this particular query. So whatever the query is giving you in the result grid, that result grid output will be stored into a table. Okay, so this is second way of creating a table also. Okay, but what you want here, this one. So that's fine, that's job done. When you will run this command with a create table as, so it will create a table in Sakila database. Why in Sakila database? Because Sakila database by default. So let's run, and you can see that table is created. There is a green signal, and it means that 121 rows have been selected or created. So let's just see the refresh it and see the tables. Yes, you can see that there is a table 1. Okay, select star from table 1, and if you will run this query, you can see that now this table is having all those repetitions also. But you can simply write where count is less than 2. Okay, so you will get only the 66 rows which is having all the names appearing one time only. Okay, now in this way everything is done in SQL. Now you can export this result, which will give you the only list of names which are not appeared more than once. Okay, and you can see that that final thing is you are able to get but running the two queries. First one is to create a first of all you created a table which was showing only in the result grid, and after that you stored that into a permanent table which is in the Sakila database, and you use that table to filter out something. Okay, you filter out the results, and that results is something that you are getting as the final one. So you use two steps. First of all, creating a table, then using a uh, DQL command to fetch the result. So first command, can I say that it's a DDL command if you include the create table also? Yeah. And the second command is, yeah, I am coming, Ayush. I'm coming toward that. Yeah. Okay. So as somebody can say that why you use two steps if you can use a single step only? Yes, we can do that also. So let's take this query and write this one. This was my original query which I created a table of. Okay, so this is my result only. This is not stored into a table right now. Okay, so anything that you see a tabular structure in SQL is actually stored in a temporary table in the memory. It is not stored in a database. It is stored in into the temporary table, and you don't see that temporary table. Okay, you don't see a name of it. You just see a result, but actually some kind of temporary table is there, and the moment you run another query, that particular temporary table is deleted. Okay, that you can assume that it's your RAM. Okay, now as you can see that I was having my everything prepared, the last name and the occurrences, but I wanted to restrict only those records which are having the one count. So can I simply write a where condition that I have written here in the first query itself? Yes. Can I run it? Will it run, Ayush? No. Okay. There is a problem. That problem is this where. Okay. I will tell you what is the problem. So yeah, this will create a problem. Now, if you will write where clause after group by also, then it will create an error. Now, the point is that what is this problem? And when you write SQL queries, there is particular order of writing things. Okay. First of all, select will be written. Okay. Written. And the variables that you want will be written, like last name and the count of the last name. And after that, from will be written from the source where from you wanted to extract the information, and after that group by will be written. Okay, and the last one is the order by. Okay, always the last thing that you will write is the order by. Okay, so this is the order, and there is a particular uh, PPT or PDF I will provide to you, which you will be able to see that how we should write the different instructions in a SQL query. Now we were having a problem in the where clause. Why? Because where clause we have used here also, it was running fine, but not here. Okay, now in the case in case when we are having a variable is categorical variable. Okay, when the variable is categorical, so we can use where. Okay, but if we are creating a field, and we wanted to use the same created numeric field to filter out the data, then We cannot just use the where clause. We have to use a having clause. Having. Now if we will run this one, it will run. Okay, because when you create a variable and you wanted to use a variable to filter out in the same query, then it doesn't uses the where condition. Okay, it will not, it will not simply execute, it will throw out error. But if you wanted to create a variable and you wanted to use that variable to filter out something also, then you will use having. Okay, and this must be always after the group by. Okay, and in yeah, so that's why you usually don't get it in one time. Okay, so I'm writing it. Okay, if you are creating a variable in a query, which is a select query. Okay, so what is the variable that we are creating here? Count. Pooja, is that clear? Are we creating a new variable here in the query, which will appear as a name of count? Correct. Now, and we want to filter our final results in the same query also using the newly created numeric field. Okay, then in this situation we cannot use where condition to filter the data. So Pooja, if you remember, do you know that in our earlier also classes we use the where clause to filter a result? So do you understand that where clause is used to filter? Yes. But in the earlier examples, are we creating any variable, any new variable? Do you see, are we creating a new variable? No. Okay, but here in this query, look at this query, we are selecting a variable, we are creating a new variable. Okay, and we are renaming that new variable as a count. Okay, and we are doing a group by also, but we wanted to filter also, just like here we did it. Okay, so earlier what we did is created a table and then new table we used to filter out the results. But what we wanted, and even Ayush suggested in the chat, you can see that Ayush said that can we use the where statement in query 1 itself? Did you understand Ayush's question, Pooja? You didn't understood Ayush's question. So Ayush, can you please make her understand the question?
Uh, yeah, I just asked you if we can use where statement in the query one so that we can have only one query. But now I understand that instead of using where, we have to use having statement if we are creating a variable.
Yeah.
Or
So first, that's fine. Thank you, Ayush. Now, Pooja, did you understand what Ayush was suggesting? Yeah. Okay, you can't see his question. Just scroll up at 12 at IST 12:23. You will see that Ayush has posted a question. Can you see that? Okay. 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 Could be possible. Okay. Okay. So yeah, yeah, fine, fine. Matthew, the thing is that uh, in this class, as a trainer, I am not allowed to make everyone into panelist. It's only, even if I'm doing, I am actually risking few things. Okay, I am not allowed to make panelist. When I see very less students, when I see that there is no chance of any problem according to the uh, guidelines career era has given, so I just make it. But when there is a large number of people, usually more than 8, then I don't do it. Okay, so all of you must be aware about that. When students are very less on the Friday class, I make them all panelists. Okay, but for a larger batch, it is not advisable for me to do it. Okay, so that's why. Yeah, but I totally understand your point. Thank you, Pooja, for mentioning that. So if you are creating a new variable and you wanted to use that variable to filter out in the same query, you cannot do it, but you can do it in the another query that you can see here. We use that particular result to create a table, and then we filtered out the results where count is less than 2, like this one. This was running fine, but if we are trying to run this, cut it and just paste it here, then you will see that there is a red line inside. And if you try to run it also, it is saying that you have an SQL error. Okay, check out the manual corresponds to what it is saying. Yeah, there is an error because you cannot write a where, and you can see that SQL is suggesting itself that it is the problem. Okay, where is not valid at this position. Okay, you cannot write it, but you can write having. Okay, so this having will run when you are creating a new field and you wanted to filter out something with that particular newly created field also. Now you can see that select last name, counting count of new variable as a count. From actor, we are using a group by, because if you write only this particular query and execute it, you will see the group by results. Okay, and if you write this particular thing, okay, you will get the results only filtered out for one. But if you execute this one, it will also order it by. Okay, so this is the exact thing I wanted you to explain. Now I was able to get this query which names are not repeated. Now the question says that which last name appear more than once. Now look at this question. It is now asking exactly the opposite. So can you now tell me the answer of this query? Having count greater than 1. Wonderful, Pooja. Yes. Okay, so I will write the same thing, but having count greater than 1. Okay, 55 people. So you can see that if you go down to this last, you won't find then anyone with a 1 occurrence. So what does this mean? Every surname that you see or last name is repeated more than once. Okay, so this is the query, SQL query 2. I have done the same thing. Yeah, now we will start after the break something more and interesting. Okay, we will be talking about something joins, and Before understanding the joins, I will also explain you some part of VLOOKUP. Okay, if all those people who understand the Excel VLOOKUP but they don't understand the joins, it's for them, because majority of the cases I have found that people understand the Excel skills but they do not understand the SQL. Okay, it's for them. Okay, and I will also try to explain it uh, with a very basic naive approach without using any VLOOKUP or something technicality. Okay, so let's take a small break and then we will gather back to understand the further concepts. The point is that Pooja, you can use anything. Okay, what is the point of using an index or VLOOKUP? That's the important thing. Okay, if you understand both of them, then it's fine. I can go directly jump to the joins. It will be easier for everyone also who understand the thing but they don't want things to repeat for them. Okay, so if you understand the use of why we use the index or VLOOKUP, then I think it's fine. Okay, did you understand why we use a VLOOKUP and index? Yeah, you know the lookup. Thank you, Matthew. You know the method, but what it does for you at the end when you apply it. Do you understand why it was done? Andrew, thanks. But what about Pooja? Do you understand the purpose of it? I know that there is a particular formula you can simply drag and drop, but why you did it? Yes, to fetch the data from the other table. That's fine. I think we are ready to proceed towards join. That's fine. But for Matthew, I will explain you. No worries. Okay, so let's just take a break and then we will gather back. Okay, guys. So let's start with our example, and let's take another example of guard 2. No, that's fine. That is the guard 1 itself, but it's online deliveries. Okay. So what will be the scenario in this case, and what he will be noting down? Name, ID, and let's say time time of received, time received by student, signature, let's say item only. How many items were there? Okay. So let's say this time received by the guard and time received by the student. Okay. And there is an item and there is like the delay, because it could be possible that item received by the guard is at time t1, and the item received by the student is there, and we wanted to know that delay. So we can have some delays randomly, 1 to 24. So these are the number of hours of delay. Okay, let's simplify this also a little bit in terms of Ayush and Nikhil didn't order something, so there is nothing. Okay. So here also we can do the same thing, but let's say as a owner I want the count of students where they are going out and in, and I want a third column. Okay, here it is the name, count, and the delay. And delay is something caused by the student. Okay, so whenever the item is received by the guard 1, he just informed them, and the student comes, might be some late. So how many students are creating that delay? We wanted to know that. Okay, so the delay is going to be the column. So first of all, you will have to create a table which will only calculate the delay, and you wanted to bring this information, the delay information, into this table. Understood? So isn't it we are actually taking information from two tables? Can I say that? Can I say that? Yes, it's very simple. Yes. So delay is something that we wanted to know. So first of all, in order to calculate the delay, I need to first of all make a table or make aggregate results for the delays that happen by each of the student. So I will have the delay by Pooja, Mukesh, and Ayush. Similarly for Raju and Nikhil, we can do this sum of delays. Okay, so we can simply do a group by. Okay, so you can see that that's 2, 15, and 23. This is hours. Okay, so 40 hours of delay by, let's say, Pooja. For Mukesh, the delay is total 24 hours. Ayush, the delay is 28. For Raju and Nikhil, it is 0, 0. And this is my table for delays. Total delay. So customer care team is asking Vishnu. So it's Vishnu, customer care team. Can you please confirm, Vishnu? And please mark your attendance. Kindly do it. I'm just waiting for Vishnu's reply so that we can proceed for Vishnu Subramaniam. Okay. Is that fine, customer care team? Welcome. Now, this table, which I can say as a delay table, okay, we can say it as a delay underscore table, which is having name and the total delay by each student. Now, you can say that the same information is also there. Ayush, Mukesh, Nikhil, Pooja, and Raju. Okay. Now we wanted to bring that information here so that I can create a single table. Okay. So what I will do is that simply do a VLOOKUP. Okay. Now VLOOKUP is actually going to give for the names, it will give you the total delay. Okay. So I'm not going into the formula how to do it, but see that it's going to fetch this table and get me the second variable. Okay, so you can see that I have got the two. Something wrong with this. Okay, now I got it. Okay, so you can see that the same information I have got. Now I've used another table to populate data in my table. Okay, and I've used a lookup table. Let's say this guard one is also maintaining another table. It's not a delay table, it's something else. Then I can bring that same variable also for each student. Okay, so let's say any other so other variable, other one. Okay, other two, something like that. I can use a VLOOKUP to get the other one. So I will be able to get a central table for everything. Okay. So I can, from this table, I will be able to know that Ayush is going out 3 times and he's creating 28 hours of delay in receiving the packages. And there could be another information, other one, another two. Mukesh is getting 3 times out of the hostel and creating 24 of delays in terms of receiving this. So you can see that I'm using different tables to get it. But I can do one variable one at a time. Okay. What about bringing all the other information into one table, just like in our case? If you see our case, when we were doing our older queries like this one, yes, this one, if you are able to see that, what we did in our earlier example, first of all, we found a customer whose name was Norma Gonzalez. Okay, she was having an address ID of 98. From that address table, we got to know about the city ID. From city ID, we got to know about the country ID. and from country ID we got to know the country itself. So it means that not everything information is present in one table. So can I make a customer table such that for each customer showing its phone number, something like this one in this example, I will also have the another column which you can visualize in your mind, that will have the city, country, and every other information that I am getting from these three tables. Okay, these three tables into one table. Okay, so if it were to be Excel, then I would have got one variable one at a time from each three of table. But we are in SQL, we are doing SQL. So SQL is more powerful. Okay, and what and how it is more powerful? Because it does not only bring one variable at a time, it will bring everything from the another table into one. Okay, like from address we want how many things? We want the address, we want the district, we want the postal code, we want the phone number, we want the location also, and we want the city ID also. And from city, what we wanted to fetch out? We wanted to fetch out the city name only and the country ID. Once it is there, what we want from country table? We want country table, the country name itself. That's all. So you can see that from each table, we want either sometimes want four variables. We want from here two variables, and in the last we want one variable. So if it were to be in Excel, then how many VLOOKUP formulas I will have to apply? So I have to just add them the variables and the number of times I have to apply the VLOOKUP. So it's a time consuming thing. It's also prone to errors because of the lot of manual steps. Okay, so what is the way? The way is join. Okay, can we join the table? Okay, can we simply join the table? Yes, we can join the table. Here also, if you will see that, yes, so here also you can see that if this particular table, the guard one, the time in and time out, if we can bring all these information, like here you can see that if I can bring all these things, copy and paste here, so it will be useful for us also. You can see that all the variables that I was interested in, it's all present in one table for each and every student. Okay, so this is that my guard one online deliveries table. Okay, and this is my older table, the time in and time out. So for each student I am getting the all information: time in, time out, duration out, time received by the student, the number of items, and the delays. Okay, so everything I am getting at one place. How this is possible? Not with the help of VLOOKUP. It's possible with the help of joins. And how we can do it in SQL, but you will not find it doing in Excel. You will do it in SQL. You can join them. But how you join? And remember one thing, that when you are joining, you are not supposed to make repetitions. Okay, I could have brought the name, serial number, and ID also. Okay, but I haven't done thing, because if I repeat the thing, there is no use of serial number, name, and ID repeating for the guard one table also. So you need to make sure that what is the variable in both of the table which are common. So you can see that serial number, name, and ID, or even we can discard the serial number, but the name and ID is the common thing. Okay, and we are able to see that we are able to join them. Okay, so this is the same thing that I wanted to do here for all the customers. How many customers I have? First of all, select star from the customers. So 599 rows I am having. Okay, so how do we know that how many distinct customers I have? Let's just do a query. Okay, select distinct customer ID. Okay, and we wanted to do a count. We wanted to make a simple table, simple result, and we will say that count of customer is the field. That's all. When we will run this query, you will see that it is giving me a count of customer field, that is one field only, and 599 customers. So for each 5999 customer, I want their address ID, city, district, pin code, mobile number, location, their city name, and the country. So I need all the information to be on the left side of customer table. If you try to visualize this one from this one, okay, assume that this is my customer table. So let's just create a new sheet. This is my customer table. What I want in the left of it, address tables variable, correct? And what I want here, the city tables attribute. And after that, what I want, country ID, country tables attribute in one table. And I will make this whole table in a single table. So right now I'm doing everything fetching out from different, but I wanted to join them. So this will be my final table after joining it. So first of all, you will have to join the customer and address. So whatever the resultant you will get, you will join it with the city. And then whatever the resultant you will join it with the country table. Is that correct? Everybody understood? Okay, then let's start. So Matthew, you understood? Okay, fine. Yeah, I will explain. So let's try to first of all see the bookish meaning. Okay, the book definition. Primary key, DBMs. Primary key is the column or columns that contains values that uniquely identify each row in a table. A database table must have a primary key or for optim to insert. Okay, let's just forget about this. Only read about this one. A primary key is the column or columns that contains value that uniquely identify each row in a table. Okay, now in this case, can you see a primary key which is uniquely identifying each row? Andrew has mentioned ID. What about others? Anybody wants to comment on this? Okay. So Pooja, did you all understand what is the meaning of this one? Okay. Now coming to this one. Thank you. Yeah. So here I've explained. Yeah, there will be a lot of things. I will be uploading this SQL query too. Can anybody tell me that this SQL query 2 is with everyone from the last to last LMS update I have done? Can you please check and let me know? You have. Then great. Then it's fine. Okay. So this is something that I also repeated to another batch on 9th April 2023. Okay. So there could be a different explanation that I will do in this batch, but let's try to understand the same thing. While the other above questions, you can see that, yeah, it was this batch. So you will see that the same thing I have done. Okay, even I explained more the uh, in this class, like these questions, which actors names are not repeated, like this one. Okay, and there is a last question, which actor has appeared in the most of the films, which we will see it after we understand the joins. Okay, let's see the address table. Okay, we have this address table. When you do this count star, what it does is that it calculates the number of observation. Okay, 603 observations. Okay, why 603? 599 is the customer. Why 603? Can you just think of it? Just apply some analytical bent of mind. Yeah. No, it's not duplication, Aisha. Yes, Andrew, you're correct. There are staff. There are two staff members and there are two manager of the staff. If you remember that. Yes. So they are the staff. So there are two store managers and there are two managers also. So there are four people. So 599 plus these four people. So that's why it's 603. Okay. But what you want, in fact, you want only the customer addresses. So you don't want those four records to be taken inside the customer table. Okay. That's great. Great observation, Andre and Pooja. You also. Okay, so everything when you are starting to work on tables, when you will be working, try to see the length and the breadth of the field. Okay, so length and the breadth of the table means that what is the length? So 603. Breadth, how many variables are there? Okay, how you can know the variable? Describe address. Okay, you will be able to see that how many rows you have got. 9 rows. It means that 9 columns. Okay, so let's see that address id, address to, district, this city id, and all this information. How many rows returned? 9. So it meant 9 variables. So you got to know about the length and the breadth of the table. Okay, so 603 is the length, breadth is the 9. Look, I think something I explained to category also. So category table about the movies, like which of the category id belongs to which particular one. We will use this information later. Okay, see the city table. City table, we know that. Let's filter out some city. Okay, so just like in Python we use a in command to insert multiple values to check for, here it's also running the same thing. Okay, so the city is Lethbridge. These all the cities where the city id is this one. So just a filtration technique I wanted to introduce you with the help of where. Okay, what is the number of rows in city table? 600. Okay, 600 cities information is there, not distinct city names. Okay, but the city, the observations in city. But we wanted to know the distinct city. Okay, select count distinct city as cities from city table. If you will do this, you will get it is 599 cities. Have I done something wrong? Let me just check. Yeah, 600 different cities. Yes. So we have information about 600 different cities. And that's giving us the query here also. You can do this also. Select city from city. It will give you a list, and from the messages you will be able to know that how many rows are there. But it is not the smarter way, because it is actually running a query which is taking some time by the processor and it's giving the result. Instead, what you want, please mention that you want the count, you don't want the list. Okay, so you should write select count distinct city as cities from the table city. So it is giving you a result which is city, which is having 599 as the number. Okay, so you can see that we have seen the city, country, and the address table, and we wanted to merge them together. And first of all, let's try to merge them also. Like we can join them in this way also. First of all, join the address with the city, and then whatever the resultant is there, join it with the country, and that final table which will be prepared, join it with the customer. Okay, you can do the math also. For example, you have 1 4 6 this, so you do the sum together. Okay, so you are getting 17 and add the 17 to the 1, or you can do this, add 1 and 4, then 5 and then 8. It's all up to you. Okay, so what we are going to do here, first of all, we are going to add the city plus address, which will give us the city address, and then we will add the city address plus country, that will give us the city address plus country, and we will finally add them into the desired table. Okay, but address, city, and country will give the total addresses. Okay, so you can assume address table as A, B as city, and C as country. Okay, so this is how you can understand ABC. And we will use aliases for mentioning about the table. We will not use the full name. Okay, because it's very difficult to write and pronounce the full names, so it's better to write ABC, or table 1, table 2, table 3, or T1, T2, T3. Okay, any aliases you can use. Okay, first of all, see that how two tables can be joined. Okay, I will explain you. First of all, join the city plus address. This will give me the city address. So city, yeah. So we will have let's say address table. We will say the address table as a, sorry guys, I have to attend a very important call. Give me a second. Thank you guys for patience. So we will call the address table as A, and we will call the city table as B. Okay. Now see the tables first of all. Okay. City and address. Run this one plus these two together and see that what we want from the table. So from address table, we want everything: address ID, address, okay, district, city ID, postal code, phone, location, and we might want this last update, but we will delete it because it's not relevant right now. We will see that. Okay, let's take this also for a while. So what we want everything from the address table. Okay, and what we want from city table, we want only the country ID and the city. Why we want country ID? So that we can join the country also from the country table. So we will use the keys. What are the keys in address table? So in address table, we have a city ID, which is also available in the city table. Okay, correct, Mukesh. So let's join that. Okay, so in order to join, you have to mention that what you want to select from each of the table. Select a dot star. What does that mean? It means that please get everything from the a table. But if you wanted only the, let's say, address and then address ID, so you would have written address ID, comma, a dot address, and then comma the third variable. But what you want is all information. So you will write a dot star, comma, what you want from B table, you want city and you want B dot country ID. Okay, that's what you want from the two tables. And where all you are getting this from? City, and you wanted to refer city as, oh sorry, address as A, which you have already mentioned. So declare in order to declare alias for a table, you just have to write a space and the alias name. That's it. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to write a alias for Mukesh, then I will write this one: Mukesh space MUK, something like that, address. And we wanted to keep this address table in the left, and we want something to join keeping this table as a left. No, in while declaring the table alias you don't write, but while declaring the variables you write. For example, you want the city to be written as city name, so you will write as. Okay, so that's the new variable name when your final results will be there. Okay, now you want this table to be kept into the left, that's why address is on the left, and you wanted to join this table. Okay, what is the meaning of left join? So left join means that whatever the table is on left, its record you want full, you want the full records, yeah, from left, but you wanted to uh, get variables from the other table, but the record should be on the basis of the left table. I will explain it more in depth. Okay, so give me a moment. Left join with what table you wanted to join? The city table. So city table, and what is the alias for city table? B. Now on what basis you will join? Okay, On what basis? So you will write on a dot, what is common among them? Mukesh, I am aware about, you know, please don't write, because I want the other people to participate also. Okay. Prem, you're correct. Yeah. So both the tables have city ID. Okay. City ID equal to b dot city ID. What does that mean? When A table city ID is same as B table city ID, please join that row. It means that. And that's all. So semicolon. Okay. So you have written a join condition. And when you will run it, you will get the city name and the country ID. Now, how many observations there in the city? If you see that, how many observations there in the city table? 599. And how many rows were there in address? 603. Which table we have kept as a left? Address. Okay. So left join means that I need everything from the left table, but give the corresponding results or records for the from the B table. Okay. So you can see that the final table that you have got has how many observations? 603, because you have kept the address table on the left and you have got everything from the other table, because CT table has 599 rows. So the resultant, you haven't got the 599, you have got 603, because 603 observations are the observations from address table, and that is your reference point. Okay. So this is how you get to know the join. So this information you have got is a one table, which is a combination of city and addresses. So it is city address. So you might wanted to store these results into a table. Create table city address as this one, and you will simply execute this table and it will create a new table, city address. And with the new table that you will get, you can join it with the country table. Okay. So it's time up. Okay. I will continue doing this from the next class, and this whole thing will be repeated in Friday class. What will be not, it's already there, city ID. City ID is the key. It is the key, and in the address table, the primary key is address ID, and in both of them, what is the common? City ID. So it is the joining key. But if I were to ask what is the primary key of city table, then you would have written city ID. Yes, correct. Okay, guys, so that's all for today. I think everything is there with you. You can simply find the same thing I have done. In fact, I have joined the three tables together. Okay. You can simply see that approach, and there are a lot of approaches that I've explained to you. Subquery approach, table approach, which we will be continuing the next Saturday class. But everything that we learned today will be repeated. You can ask the program manager, Aisha. It's the same time. Yeah. Okay, guys. So that's all for today.